Well, tonight we're learning more about a Charlotte woman who died while on a voodoo spiritual retreat in Haiti. Her son says Dana Jackson went down to Haiti on July 1st and was supposed to return on July 26th, but that never happened. WCNC Charlotte's Austin Walker joining me in the studio tonight. In Austin, the Sun tells you things aren't adding up here.
Yeah, that's right. This is the last text that Timothy Jackson received from his mother. That was on July 12th. He was supposed to hear from her 9 days after on the 21st, but Timothy says that's what he's being told right now about what happened, how, when. It's all not adding up. It's a trip Timothy Jackson was hesitant to support.
Truthful, honest answer, I was a little uneasy.
His mom, Dana Jackson, had been researching voodoo spiritual practices for over 4 years.
She felt called to do voodoo.
And she wanted to take the next step, becoming a priestess, signing on for a spiritual retreat to Haiti. Flying from Charlotte to Miami and then into Haiti.
She was going down there. She went down there on July 1st.
With her son worried about the political unrest and intense climate on the island, they agreed they'd stay in contact as much as possible.
We talked, and she told me she was fine and she was okay. Once they actually got to their location, she would talk to me. We would text, even if it was once a day.
Screenshots from the app WhatsApp showing she made it there on July 1st.
So our last last text I received from her was on July the 12th. She let me know that they were going to church the following day to pray for her. I knew that this last part of this ceremony, she wouldn't be able to talk, or she wouldn't have access to her phone, which I had did a little bit of research before and after, and that's kind of common.
But she assured him she'd message him on the 21st.
On the 21st, I waited, and then on the 22nd, it's like I had an eerie feeling. When I woke up, I checked my phone, and I didn't have any messages in WhatsApp.
On July 22nd, Timothy received a call from his grandfather saying his mother had died.
I pulled up her itinerary, and I called, the lady in charge, Mambo Maud, but I asked her, what happened. And, they kind of asked me, well, how much did I know?
He says the woman told him his mother completed the ceremony but got sick. She had strokes and seizures. But later, the story changes, and he was told she had an asthma attack.
The way that my mom takes her health serious, if she would have had an asthma attack, she would have tried to see if she could have went to someone's hospital.
The death certificate came weeks later, and Timothy says it had additional red flags.
And it doesn't even look like it was written with like a decent pen. So like the ink was running out.
It shows Dana's time of death at 6:30 in the morning on July 22nd, but doesn't list a cause of death. He also couldn't get any confirmation where her body was and learned from Haitian officials she had been moved 3 times.
We were not even getting any clear information.
I reached out to Mambo Maud and left a message trying to get more clarity on the timeline, but did not hear back.
I feel like they manipulated and lied to my mom, and then I feel like they're doing the same thing to me, and that's why I can't be quiet about it any longer.
A lot of unanswered questions right there, but what are the next steps? Trying to get more concrete information. So when an American dies on foreign soil, the U.S. Embassy steps in, and officials there tell Timothy they are working right now to get her body. Colin?
What a nightmare.
Yeah.
Austin, thank you.
So, babies, let's talk about this. Dana Jackson from Charlotte went to Haiti to become a Mambo priestess. She went to practice voodoo in Haiti and was unalived at this retreat she went to practice voodoo or learn voodoo. She felt she was called to practice voodoo. Rest in peace, Miss Dana Jackson, but let's talk about this. What behooves me is people's interests and things they are unaware of, things they don't understand, things that they know nothing about, things that they don't understand that and I will say this, people want to know about stuff that some of us should probably leave alone. we should leave it alone. There are certain things that we should not be involved in. There are certain things that we shouldn't be doing. See, everybody's interested in stuff they don't know about, but they don't know the cost, the price. And this lady paid with her life. Paid with her life. Now they trying to figure out what happened to her, and nobody's ever gonna find out. Like there are some things and some spiritual things you do not deal with. There are some things you don't awaken. There are some doors you do not open and you leave closed, people. So let this be a warning to you. Please, sometimes the call you're answering may not be one from good. It may be from evil. Y'all need to think about this. This thing of practicing all this different type of stuff.
I know about voodoo. I deeply know about it. In Louisiana, we don't play about that shit like that. I'm from Louisiana, so I know about voodoo. I deeply know about it. In Louisiana, we don't play about that shit. Like that's one topic, one thing we don't fucking play about. People are so sleep on the fact that people really play with voodoo. You probably really have somebody putting voodoo on your life and you don't even know because you sleep on the fact that that shit is real, but it's really fucking real, and it's really people out here that is so fucking miserable that they sitting around doing that shit to people.
Is there any way to know if you are under a voodoo spell?
You really have to go to a voodoo lady, and even if that's something you don't believe in, that's something everybody should do. I don't care if you don't believe in that shit. You might don't believe in it, but it's people out here that don't fucking like you that believe in it, that's putting that shit on you, and you going through hell in life and you wondering where the fuck is all this hell coming from. I'm from Louisiana, so I
All right, this story is so sad and it kind of hits home. It does hit home to me because I am of Haitian descent. So, this woman, I believe from one of the Carolinas, Dana Jackson, she started researching, voodoo and started getting into the topic, and she was interested in becoming a mumble. A mumble is basically like the female version of a high priest, like a priestess in the voodoo practice. Okay. So I guess she had been interested, like the video said, for 4 years. And then she finally went to Haiti because when you are becoming initiated into it to become a priestess or whatever, you have to go to the place of origin. It's like when people go, Muslims have to make Hajj. They have to go to Mecca. I'm trying to gather my thoughts because this is a serious topic. So I know every year, from off the top of my head, they call it Hajj. They have to go to Mecca, or at least once in their lifetime, but usually every year. So this is the same concept with Haitian voodoo, especially if you're trying to move up the ranks. You must go to Haiti because that is the point of origin. That is the hot spot. Okay. So she went, like the video said, and I'm not going to speak ill on the group. I don't know. Listen, we all really don't know what happened, but I am going to discuss this because it is a cautionary tale, um pertaining to when you don't have ancestral ties to certain things, you shouldn't go seeking. Okay. um a lot of people have successfully um become mumbles and moved up the ranks, and they're not Haitian. But the thing is, we don't really know. Us as Black people, we're an amalgam of things, of different tribes from the African continent. We do not know all of our ancestry until we have an idea. We just don't know it fully. All right. So and I'm trying to gather my thoughts because when I saw this, I just shook my head. All right. So, anywho, so she was part of a group, and I think they had put up. Let me find I think they had put up a like a video, commemorating her, and I'm gonna find it. Here it is. They had basically acknowledged her death, and this is the place, the group she's associated with. Mute this. All right, so here. So basically, it says Maud Societe Nago. Maud is the point of contact that her son was talking about in that video. I guess she's in charge of this societe, or like it's a society, it's a group, or you can call it like a fraternity or sorority. It's a group. So I've heard of them, Societe Nago. So now when you hear Nago, a lot of us in Haiti, we call ourselves Neg Nago, because Nago is where in Africa a lot of us Haitians originate from. They'll say Negine. And when we say neg, that means like man, but it also means black, because in Haiti, everyone is black. So neg just means a black man. So a lot of us we're called Negine because I know a lot of us originate from Guinea, Bissau, what is present day, I think Guinea, Bissau, but Guinea, that part of Africa. A lot of us come from Nago, right? Neg Nago. So this society is called Nago. Yeah, we are very close to our African, ancestry, our African ties. We know a lot. Like Haitians, because a lot of us are so pure and not as mixed, that a lot of the lores and the oral histories back from Africa, and even back from indigenous practices, we keep. The other day, my father told me where exactly in Africa. His race, I guess people are from Alada. I had never ever heard Alada, ever. And when I had looked it up, the Alada was a tribe in oh my God, the Congo area. I forgot, Dahomey. So that's where a lot of us originate from too. Congo, Dahomey. So you had the Dahomey tribe, you had the Alada tribe. They were fighting each other. They were, wars. They were like different kingdoms or tribes. And Alada lost. First, they were thriving and they lost because, there's always a winner and a loser. And they were sold by the Dahomey tribe into slavery. So that's how we got to Haiti, some of us. And that's my father's people, the Alada people, but they were warriors, always fighting. They lost, they got sold. So that a lot of times we like to blame the white man. And yes, most of the atrocities of slavery, if they didn't go searching for slaves, you wouldn't have had the transatlantic slave trade. But a lot of countries, there are wars, and the losing party often is sold into slavery. It's a hard truth, a hard pill to swallow for some of us, but it's facts. And my father's ancestors were part of the Alada tribe in around the Dahomey, and that's, I think, present day Congo or Benin, Togo. So I have learned a lot of my African ancestry from my dad, because he comes from Gonaïve, Latibonite, and that is where they fought for freedom. That's where we got our independence, in the north of Haiti. A lot of North Haitians have very strong ties to their African ancestry. Very, very strong ties. They remember everything, like almost everything from back in Africa. Anywho, so I'm sorry, I got off topic, but I just like to share, like we need to be enlightened as people. We're all black, but like I said before in another video, all skin folk and kinfolk. You could see me walking down the street, you wouldn't know that I'm Haitian. A lot of even some of my fellow Haitians I've worked with, they didn't. I always thought you could spot that I'm Haitian from a mile away. A lot of people I work with, they didn't even realize I was Haitian. I'm like, come on, like really? But yeah, we all still come from different lineages. All right, we are all from all over Africa. Different tribes have different practices. They just mixed us all together. Okay, so here we go. So the societe, they acknowledged, even though her son was trying to like accuse them or of some foul play, they acknowledged the transition of our beloved house member Mumbo Dana Jackson in Jacques Mel. Guys, put a pin in that. Remember that, Jacques Mel. On Monday, July 22nd, 2024. Her passing shortly after her initiation was a great shock to us all, and we uplift her and her family in prayer so that her soul may be at peace. Since Mumbo Dana, so I guess she did become a Mumbo. She did. She was initiated. Societe Nago has been working diligently with her family. Let me play this to transfer her back to the United States. This has been a long, difficult process due to complex political and logistical circumstances. Yes, that is true. There's so much going on in Haiti that I wouldn't blame this group. I'm not quick to call it foul play because I'm going to explain some things later. I'm not quick to call it foul play. But yes, Haiti is a mess right now. So it's the logistics. It's not going to be easy to get her body back. So logistical circumstances in the country of Haiti. However, Mumbo Dana finally arrived home in the United States. Okay, she did get home yesterday. Wow, today's the 17th. So Mumbo Dana will be laid to rest in Virginia. Burial and service arrangements will be determined by her family. If we learn of any public services, we will share the information on our social media pages. Additionally, we encourage people who want to honor Mumbo Dana's memory to make a donation to Angel Wings International or Partners in Health in her name to support improvement of Haitian healthcare system. We sincerely appreciate the prayers and outreach the Societe has received from other members of the Vodou community and beyond. We are grateful for everyone's patience as we delayed commenting publicly about Mumbo Dana's passing so that we could focus on bringing her home safely and making the necessary funerary arrangements with her family. As we mourn the passing of our beloved member, Mumbo Dana Jackson, Societe Nago calls upon the Vodou community to come together in unity and strength during this difficult time. In the face of this tragedy, it is more important than ever that we stand together as one. The bonds of our faith and our shared heritage have always been our greatest strength. Now we must lean on these ancestral bonds, supporting one another with love, compassion, and understanding as we navigate this profound loss. Let us come together in ceremony and prayer and in mutual support, honoring Mumbo Dana's life and the values she held dear. Through unity, we will find the strength to uphold her legacy, continuing the work she was so passionate about and ensuring that her spirit lives on in each of us. May we find solace in our shared faith and knowledge that Mumbo Dana's spirit remains with us, guiding and protecting us as we move forward together. Mumbo Dana was a beacon of light, a dedicated servant of the spirits, and made a meaningful impression on all of us. This loss felt deeply by all, this gets small and my vision's not good, by all those who knew her, and together as a spiritual community, Societe Nago resolves to carry Mumbo Dana's legacy. All right. Now people are in an uproar over this. And so this brings me to the comments I want to make, right? I was not raised in Vodou practices. Actually, we were shoved in church from the time I could remember. In church, constantly in church. Listen, Monday through Sunday, like growing up, my life was church. And that is because in Haiti, most of the country is Catholic. The country is like, I think 95%. At one point, it was 100% Catholic. And then you had missionaries started pouring in from other religions, right? And then around the 50s and 60s. And then people started converting to, Protestantism, like my mom did, Mormonism, like my dad was a Mormon at one point. They just started, missionaries started converting people, steering them away from Catholicism to more, to other Christian religions. All right. And in regards to Catholicism in Haiti, the reason why a lot of people turn away, a lot of Haitians turn away from it, is because it's syncretized with Vodou. And that's a fact. And when I say syncretized, meaning the saints that are venerated, the saints that are honored, they are mixed in or combined with the I want to pick my words right because I don't know how to like say it in English. Basically, like the voodoo gods, I want to say. And there are many of them. Y'all can look. I don't even want to say or cite the names because I just, I know a little about it. And I growing up, my mom's always like, don't say the names, don't do this, don't do that, don't say. My father will freely say it. He doesn't care, and he will give me a history lesson because the whole voodoo thing wasn't a bad experience for him. And I'm going to talk about the two different types of Haitians. All right. So my mother just had us in church, okay? Had us in church all the time. My father attended, he did, but my father also has, he recognizes his ancestral ties to voodoo. So to him, it wasn't all, like a bad, like, oh my God, hocus pocus thing. Whereas my mom, she's had bad experiences. So the thing with voodoo is it is a natural practice. It's just an African practice. We came over with it during slavery. It is just our spiritual practice. It's of the earth. What else can I say? We recognize, the gods and the different deities, there's different spiritual deities. We recognize them. One thing is too, you have to understand, God also recognized them, and they recognize God. Voodoo people know there is a God and they recognize God, but God is a supreme being. That's the thing with Voodoo and Christianity. We have to acknowledge that God is the one true high God. He is supreme. Okay. That's the thing. Even the people who practitioners recognize God. That's what a lot of people don't know. So it's not all bad. It's just that you are putting spiritual beings above the supreme God. And that's where, that's where it starts to get dicey, right? So listen, back in Haiti and from what I know growing up, people consulted the gods for protection, for direction, for just basically for protection. Okay. The problem is you have malfecte, and malfecte are people who use voodoo for bad. That's what bad, mal means bad. Malfecte, and I'm going to break down the word. And for people who are French or Haitian, you'll understand mal means bad. Fecte means like to do, to make or to do. So malfecte means bad doers. And when you hear that word in Haitian Creole, that means that's someone who's practicing voodoo with ill intent, okay? It's meant for harm. You're trying to harm people. That's where things get dicey with it. Number one. Number two, if you go searching, there's a saying in Haitian Creole, Jean cherché, Jean trouvé. That means Jean was looking and Jean found. That's basically fuck around and find out. That's basically what that means. That means, especially for Haitians, you don't go looking into things that you're not called into, right? You don't go seeking. Chercher means to seek. Jean cherché, Jean trouvé. You seeking for what? If you're not called to it, don't go seeking, don't go looking. So with this lady, the Société, listen, they will accept members, okay? You're African, she's of African descent, right? So, and I'm not going to act like I know everything about the Société, but you know, I'm sure they've initiated many people. You know, we just don't know. We don't know what happened. And a lot of times, right? Listen, I know people who go to Haiti all the time, right? And when we hear someone goes to Haiti, many times it's like, we know what you're doing. They go to consult an Ugan. And that's like a priest, a high priest or whatever. They go to consult. I have family members who went every year. My parents they've been here over 40 years. They've only been back a couple of times. They don't want no parts of voodoo. A lot of Haitians have basically released themselves of the practice because of the way it's used and the abuse of it and things that they've seen in Haiti. Like, many Haitians have basically forfeited this ancestral practice. They've probably almost died, right? Been attacked. So that's why a lot of them, whenever you see a Haitian person that has converted from Catholicism to Protestantism, Baptist, Seventh-day Adventist, you know, any LDS, whatever, they were Catholic. We were all Catholic, practicing basically voodoo. It's enmeshed with it, and they just gave up. That's why when they forfeited the voodoo practice, they also forfeit the Catholic religion, because, like I said, it's all syncretized. And so you have so that's why you see a lot of people depart from it. Now, a lot of Haitians will acknowledge, yes, it's not all bad. They acknowledge the good, you know, the good in it, so to speak. So my father has told me, right, his father had a peristyle. And I think that was in the video before. A peristyle is basically like your altar. That's where it goes down. That's like I don't know how to say. It's like a place where you go and summon the gods. You go and talk to them and consult. Not everybody can go into a peristyle. So it's basically, I don't know, like an altar, or just, I don't know. So my grandfather had one in his backyard. I'll tell you a quick story, and let me know if y'all want more of these story times, because it's, you know, this is real. Y'all can't be playing with this. It's real. So my father had a gang of brothers and sisters. His father was in the area, Gonaive, right, which is the freedom capital of Haiti. My father comes from Machan Dessalines. That's like the section. And Dessalines is one of our revolutionary forefathers who got freedom from the French and conquered the French and beat Napoleon. That's why it's called Dessalines, Machan Dessalines. So my father's from that area. So you know where exactly he's from. That's where they got freedom. Those are warriors in that area. That's why my father comes from Alada, Dahomey. They were warriors back then, and they whooped their ass in Haiti. Okay, those same warriors. So I'm saying all this to tie it all in together for you, so you can see the different parts of Haiti, because not all parts of Haiti are the same. So my grandfather, who I really feel like he was 100% African. He was not like mixed like that. I really believe he was like 100%. He had a peristyle and altar, and there was one day they came and told him my aunt, my father's oldest sister, had died. And listen, kids die in Haiti, especially back then, a lot. And I asked my dad, like, why would that happen? And he said people would manger timunyo. That means, manger means eat. So whenever you hear, oh, yo manger, that means, you know, using voodoo means they probably sacrificed someone else in the distant relatives or in the area. They would cause harm to the kid with voodoo, you know, malfecte, right? So, and my father actually has one brother who was born before him who did pass through these means. Okay, that's what I was told. So now they came and told my grandfather, you know, his oldest daughter died. She was in bed, you know, she was sick and she died. He went to the bed and looked at her, and then he went back to his peristyle, that's what it's called, the altar in the back. And my father says it was like a big construction, like a big building in the backyard, and nobody was allowed to go there. Like everyone knew, stay out of there. Only my grandfather could go there because he was a practitioner. Okay. But my father stressed to me that he was not a malfecte. He was a do-gooder, and he was known in the area, and he was like a businessman. He sold rice because Gonaïve is known for rice. If you look this up, that was rice heaven. So he went and consulted, I guess, with the deities and said, basically, how could you do this to me? I follow you all my life. I respect you. You know, if you do not give me my daughter back, I'm done with you. That's what he basically said. I'm done with you. And the deity, whatever, instructed him on what to do. And even saying this, it's weird to me, you know, but this is our practices. This is our beliefs. This is what I was told. And my father saw it with his own eyes. He didn't see the deity. He just saw that his sister was dead. And then his father came back into the room and I forgot what he said he did. I don't know if he scratched her foot or something. And then she came back to life. I know it sounds insane, but these, you know, and I consider my dad an intelligent man. He's very intelligent, very successful. So, you know, he knows, listen, my father understands, you know, what sounds foolish and what is a fact. He's not one of those people who are like, oh my God. No, he's like, no, that shit is real. I'm telling you, like he saw it, and he saw his sister come back to life. Okay. And there have been many stories like this that have happened in Haiti. Like it's, and growing up, it's hard for me to believe, but no, this shit is, it's real. My father has told me about people anthropomorphizing, like turning into animals, and, you know, him and his brother, there was a plot on their life, and his father spiritually gave them like a protection bracelet. And then the person who tried to do something to them ended up dying. Right? So that's one aspect of it. It's about protection. And I was told too that my grandfather, who I never met, he died when I was young, did put protection on all of his progeny, all of his offspring, all of his children. So that's one aspect of it. Now, let's travel. My father's from the north. Let's travel to Jacques Mel. Jacques Mel, which y'all saw in the response of the Société Nago. Jacques Mel is in the south. That's where my mom is from. From what I've heard, now Jacques Mel is an interesting area. I don't know where a lot of them are from in Africa. DNA studies suggest on my part that my mom a lot of her DNA comes from Nigeria, and some of it comes from Congo. So North people are more Congolese, Dahomey, Togo. Southern Haitians, a lot are more Nigerian, right? And I saw that in her DNA. A lot of it is Nigerian. My father doesn't have like Nigerian at all. He's mostly Congolese. My mother has quite a bit of Nigerian. For her, most of her family is still Catholic, but a good portion, a good chunk of the people in Jacmel converted to Christianity. Like a good chunk of them. Whereas my father's family from the north, a lot, like most of them are still Catholic. I don't know any of them that converted to other forms of Christianity. My mom's parts, a lot of them turned to Baptist or whatever have you, non-denominational. Why? Because I heard there was a lot of malfecte and it was used for bad in Jacmel. Like a lot of shit went down in Jacmel. And like I said, that Société was from Jacmel. I'm not saying that they're doing anything wrong, but from what I've heard, from what I've seen, from my mom's experience in Jacmel, she associates voodoo with wrongdoing. It's just been a negative experience for her. Why? Because her own mother allegedly was killed when my mom was 5 through these means, right? And I'll tell you that story. So, Haitian men like to have multiple women. It's just a thing. They'll have multiple wives, multiple girlfriends, whatever. My grandfather on my mom's side had multiple women, and I guess my grandmother was, she was one of the top ones. I don't know. There was some jealousy. All of a sudden, there was some crazy shit happening, and, she died. And it was under mysterious circumstances, like this lady. It was just very mysterious. And the allegations were one of the other women, used practices and took her out. And I've heard this all my life. And I was like, okay, is that, is this true? Well, I know for a fact now, as I'm older, that those allegations were going around, because when my mother went back to Haiti for a funeral, that same lady, basically her stepmother, pulled her to a side and pled with my mom and said, I am not the one who did it. We're talking about 40 years later. She said, I didn't do it. She said, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. So the allegations stayed with my grand stepmother for years. For her to come to my mother, and my mother always treated her right, would send her money, would send her things. And she told my mom, it wasn't me. So that tells you, things are, this practice is used for evil. They will use it to get at you, jealousy or whatever. Something happened, and, she died. And that's why I strongly believe that my mother just turned away from Catholicism. She just turned away from it. She didn't want no parts. And the thing is, so I know my stories are long and drawn out, but listen to me, y'all. We have to be careful with things we go seeking, because even the people who these practices are native to, we're trying to escape them, right? Listen, my mom don't want nothing to do with any of this. And that's why the thing is, these practices are powerful, that if we do leave. And the thing too with Haitian voodoo and being Haitian is that each and every one of us, you have responsibilities to upkeep. You have responsibilities to uphold when your ancestors' practices. There are certain things that have to be done back in your like your plot, your family plot, and all this. And a lot of my extended relatives have upkept with it, because different families, you have different deities that follow you, and you have to keep satisfying them. Now, a lot of people have abandoned them, but that's why they go and just entrench themselves into Christianity. Because if you're leaving one practice, you need to find another for protection. You will, because you're not keeping up with your practices, from what I've heard, y'all, the spirits are not happy, right? And it can cause a lot of trouble for you. So that's why a lot of people move over into other Christian practices and just stay prayed up. When I tell you my mother is prayed up, when I tell you my other family members who left Catholicism and joined Baptist, Pentecostal, we are prayed up. We were in church. That's why there's that saying for Haitians, l'école, l'église, la caille, for our kids. That means l'école, school, l'église, church, la caille, home. We don't go anywhere else but church and school. It's a thing we have, but it's true. It's true. If I wasn't in school, I was in church growing up. That's about it. That's about it. And so if we don't want to have anything to do with some of our ancestral practices, and we are actually Haitian, like Haitian natif natal. Natif natal means we are Haitian, like born, well, not me, but my parents. Natif natal, born there. My family has been there since like the 1500s. I traced it back. Been like 50, I have records going back 15, 1600s, 1700s. We were freaking there. And we don't want anything to do with some of these practices. Why would someone who's not of Haitian origin, who's not chosen, right? Why would you go seeking this out? Like, that's why, and I listen, rest in peace to her, but I just want to know, because for me, as a Haitian, yes, I have claims. I wouldn't even know where to go. I wouldn't know where to turn, where to go. I would probably seek direction. I'd have to seek a lot of direction. Also, you need to be careful who you're seeking direction from, right? I don't know what prompted her to go seeking this. Now, the video I just showed you about Louisiana, did you see that? And Louisiana people can get away with it. Listen, Louisiana people do practice voodoo. A lot of them do. They can get away with it. You know why? Because they are of Haitian ancestry. A lot of people don't like to hear that. They deny it. Where do you think it came from? They don't do hoodoo. Louisiana people practice voodoo. That's the Haitian one. Where did it come from? It came over with the Haitians that came from Haiti to Louisiana. Look up Marie Lavaux. If y'all don't know who Marie Lavaux is, she was one of the biggest practitioners. I believe her husband was Haitian in Louisiana. I think she's from the 17 or 1800s. They don't even mess around with it like that. It's not a hobby. It's not like, if you're getting into horoscope reading, you want to be a tarot. No, this is some real stuff. Like, people lose their lives all the time messing around with this stuff. And if you're not called, just like Jean cherché, Jean trouvé, you're not called, it can take you out. Now, they probably did their part and initiated her. How do you know that some energy or spirit in her did not agree with what she was seeking? She died after initiation. Something within her just said absolutely not. Was she a Christian before this? Did she grow up in the church? So it's deeper that we can't say they killed her, they sacrificed her. We don't know. We have no clue. I think it's much deeper than that. Listen, we cannot be messing around with the spiritual realm because it's serious. Did y'all see that story? Remember, there was a girl. I'm going to see if I could find the video where it was a white girl. And she was like trying to practice like Haitian voodoo. And she like called upon the name of one of the deities and she called the wrong one, y'all, and ended up deceased. That is important. And let me find the video. I'll be right back. All right, watch this, y'all.
Now tell me how this happened. You were snooping around somewhere you had no concern. And now you're hanging from the bottom of the car. That's what you get. Let him stay there till death do him part. Now tell me.
Okay, let's read some of this article. Reports are circulating that a white woman named Caitlin Kate Reston was allegedly found dead after she drowned in a bathtub, according to posts on social media from her friends. Reston's unexpected death came just 2 days after she claimed to have seen blank blank, right? I ain't saying none of this. Apparently, after trying to practice Haitian voodoo and summoning spell, people warned her not to try. That voodoo ain't for everybody. Y'all see that? And look at who she summoned. All right. Yeah, girl, no. So I bring this up because listen, I showed my father this article because I was like, whoa, what the hell? He said, are you kidding me? I said, what, Daddy? What? He said, she summoned the wrong one. She summoned the one who stands at the crossroads of death. I said, what? He said, yup. He said, she said, why would you summon that? If you summon that, you trying to be met at the crossroads. He was like, what the hell was she trying to do? Well, I remember reading it. She was trying to summon the other one. I forgot the name. Damn. Anyways, there's another one who protects you. But she summoned the other one who is, yes, the one who's met at Kafu. That's what my father said, crossroads. So he's the one that brings you in to the crossroads or to death to the other side. So you see, that's a cautionary tale. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to fuck around and summon the wrong one. And my father also said, when you summon them, if they're going to be like, okay, what do you want? Like, why am I here? Why the hell am I here? What are you doing? If you don't know what you're doing, you'll mange you. Basically, they take you out. If you have nothing for them, you're wasting their time. A lot of them have irate energies, irate spirits, like they're annoyed. So you're summoning them. It better be for a good reason, and you better know what to do. The thing is, with these things, you have to know what to do. There are listen, there's laws and rules. That's why they're called, actually in Haitian Creole, they're called lois. Loi means law. You need to know what to do. And a lot of us Haitians, instinctually, we know what to do because it was placed in us. It's placed in us. But if you don't know what to do, you in big trouble. And of course, Haitians, there are things we just know what to do because, you know, again, it's instinctual. And there are things that are harmless. But my mother, I think as she grew entrenched into Christianity, she stopped doing. Like, she would always deck us out in red when we were, like, all my childhood pictures, I'm in red. And red is protection. And when her mother died, her mother tried to, this is another story, her mother tried to come back for her. Yes, the dead will try to come back to you. And if they do not, if the people around you do not put like protection on you, you can very well follow them in death. That's why you see a lot in Haiti. We see when a husband dies, the wife, we almost expect it to always follow. Like they always die after. I don't know how it is for other cultures. When a husband dies or a wife dies, the other spouse almost always follows in a year or two, unless someone does something to stop it or put a protection or whatever. For kids, a lot of time that happens. If the mother dies, a lot of times a child will follow because the deceased came back. And I believe from what I heard, my grandmother came back for my mom and they put a stop to it. They had her wear red all the time. And when I was born, I'm my mom's first child, she had me decked out in red. Even when my son was born, he was making faces when he was a baby. And I told my mom, like, he's making funny, like, I don't like, or he's staring into the wall or to the corner or something. My mom was like, go get him some red socks. She said, go get him some red socks. And I did. You know, these are things, it's instinctual, it's ancestral. We're taught them. My kids too, if they don't finish eating something, I automatically eat it for them. It was just something, you know, I was taught, I just knew what to do. And then my mom said, yeah, that's because you don't want, like when you leave food out in Haiti, like if you don't finish your food, you're supposed to either throw it away or they don't even want you to throw it away. They expect you to finish eating your food because they don't want you to be serving the gods. Like you shouldn't be serving them. And so that's another practice I was doing until I started gaining weight. I said, listen, I ain't eating the rest of these kids' food. Like if they don't finish it, I always finish it for them. And I had to stop. I still do it from time to time. It's a habit, but I was gaining too much weight. So I either force them to, or I'll just like pour soap on. Like, it's still weird to me to throw it away, but listen, I can't be eating all your food, or I force them to finish it. That's another practice we do. That's probably like lighter hoodoo stuff. There's other things I'll get into another time. But I brought up that girl again, the white girl who died, because voodoo is a closed practice. There's open practices, which everyone can do. Doesn't matter where you're from, just general open. And then there's closed. Voodoo is closed. That's why you need to be initiated into it. It is closed, closed, closed. I don't know why a door is closed, you want to go and open it. Because again, you don't know what ties you have. Maybe they didn't go delve deep into her ancestry and see. I don't know. Very strange, but RIP to her. This is very sad. It's more than what you're seeing. I think there's more to it than, oh, they sacrificed. I don't think they did that. It's just, and what were her intentions? That's another thing. Your intentions mean everything. They mean a lot. When you're doing something, what do you intend? Right? Is this what are you trying to do? That's another big thing. Because karma, even in the voodoo spiritual realm, is real. I don't know if I should tell this story. When I tell you karma is okay, I'll tell you a quick story. Again, my dad. He had a family member who he was beefing with this family member hard. Now, my father, listen, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't practice. He's Christian. He goes to church. But he also always said, listen, anybody mess with my family, listen, that basically, like, he knows what to do. But he never has done any. Listen, only if something catastrophic happens to his family, I think he would act. But that's the only instance where I think he would just be like, oh, hell no. But other than that, he's a do-gooder. He doesn't practice. He don't do anything. He don't wish bad on nobody, nothing. Well, he had beef with a family member, and I actually heard them on the phone beefing. And my dad was like, listen, try if you want to. That's basically what he said. He said, I dare you. I think the other person, and I'm not going to say exactly who it is, was basically threatening and say, listen, nigga, motherfucker, I will do something. And this person in his family was a known malfecte. And I've never seen my dad get so mad. I was like, oh my God. My father said, listen, I want you to try me now. He said, you think you big? I'm even big. And I'm translating in English. You think you big? I'm the biggest. And I was like, oh, what the hell is he talking about? And my mom was like, okay, go, leave. I was like, what the hell's I didn't understand. This was years ago. He was like, I'm the biggest and the baddest. Well, said person, I kid you not long after passed away. Not long after passed away. I never asked. I was too young to, and I never asked him questions. Because I was like, that's a big coincidence. But recently, I asked my dad. I said, so what happened with so and so? He said, yeah, he threatened me, tried to do something to me, and he said, listen. He said, in voodoo, your intention is everything. This is what he said to me. When someone has not wronged you, has not done anything to you, and you try to send something their way, if they have protection, whatever you send towards them will return to sender. And remember, I said my father has protection from his father till this day. Because my parents have been through a lot. But my father reiterated, and my mother too. And, and the thing is, my mother serves God like to her bones. Like, she serves God. My parents are in church every week too. So you have whatever protection it is, they have it. And karma is real in the spiritual realm. It is real. Return to sender. That is actual a spell that people practice, return to sender. Some people don't have to practice a return to sender spell because it's already placed on them, especially if you didn't do anything wrong. I've seen it in my life too. When people have tried to come for me, karma is real. So intention is everything. Intention, it will come back to you. I'm not saying Dana had ill intentions or was trying to do anything to anyone, but again, we don't know her intentions. We don't know the full scope. We don't know her ancestry. We don't know what spirits she had in her family lineage that don't agree with the Haitian voodoo, because Haitian voodoo, it's different from other voodoos because you also have the African practice. And I don't know if y'all know, we also have the indigenous combined with it. Because when they came over from Africa, the indigenous was there. And we have a lot of indigenous practices. And indigenous practices, I've heard about some of them. They're not that different from a lot of Haitian practices too. What we know to be Haitian. So it's a mix of Catholicism and the African and the Taino indigenous spiritual practices. So I'm sorry that was drawn out. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. It was drawn out, but this is just a cautionary tale. What sometimes other people practice, it might not be for you. There's a lot involved in it. We got to be careful. Discuss in the comments. If you have any questions, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.